Well, good morning, everybody. This is Luke. Becca's out of the grocery store right now. I just wanted to shoot this real quick. We shot a conversation on the STEP campus this week between myself, Wawa, and Descollines, just sharing about kind of where Haiti's at right now, where the STEP Seminary is at right now, what are some of the things that we're trying to move forward on in the ministry there, and sharing some things that you can pray about. And so that's a video that we're sending out to our STEP mailing list, like probably today, maybe tomorrow. This is Friday right now, and I'm recording this. But I wanted to send that out to you as well, because normally, we write something or we send an email to you or we send a video to you and you hear from us. But this, I think, is a cool opportunity for you to hear directly from the people that we're here serving with, that we're working with, particularly Wawa and Descollines, who I personally work very closely with on an everyday basis at the seminary. So the video is a little long. It's about 40 minutes. Now, I put timestamps in the description of the video here, so you can go into the description and you can click on different questions and you can move around. If you have time to grab a cup of coffee and sit and watch this, that would be great too. Would love that, but understand if you can only grab a couple little sections here and there. By the way, Becca and I have also been trying to do some more videos just showing you a little bit of a slice of what life looks like here on the field as missionaries. So if you're interested at all in that, go over to our YouTube channel, and you can see those videos there. If you want to see more, you can subscribe. We're going to try to do some more of those. We have one that we shot the other day just looking at grocery shopping and what that looks like. One of the big issues we're facing right now is the exchange rate has changed significantly over the past 2 months. And so we wanted to update you on that. And so that video has been shot, but I need to edit it. And so hopefully we'll get that out to you here in the coming days. So anyway, if you're interested in that, go over to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. And if you want to get notified in your email when we post a new video, then there's like a little bell thing you can click there, and then that will send a notification to you. But this Corona time, man, we would love to come and visit you. And we're looking forward to when we can do that. But travel is not super easy right now. And to be honest, coronavirus here in Haiti really isn't doing much at all. So, in a sense, we kind of feel safer here in Haiti right now. So we look forward to when we can travel again. But until that time comes, want to give you guys some more videos so you can see, what life is like here for your own eyes. So we love you. Thank you so much for your faithful support. And your faithful prayers for us. We can't do this stuff without you guys, and so we're super, super grateful to you. And by the way, if you have any questions for us, anything you'd like us to cover in a future video, anything you're curious about, send us an email, put a comment in this video under the description, however you want to reach us. And we'd love to tackle that for you and answer that. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking now. I want to go to the conversation that we had this week, like 2 days ago, on the seminary campus with me, Wadestrant Jean Baptiste, Wawa, who's the president of STEP, and Andrikson Descollines, who's the academic dean. Well, good morning, everybody. This is Luke Perkins. I work as Wawa's assistant here. We've got Wawa. Everybody knows Wawa, who's the president of STEP Seminary. And then I think most people know Descollines, Andrikson Descollines, who's the academic dean of the seminary. I can't speak English. These guys need to teach us English. But, this is the period of Corona, and everything is weird all across the world right now. And one of the things that we would normally do throughout the year is that Wawa would travel to see a lot of you. And Descollines would do some traveling, I would do some traveling, but because of Corona, we haven't been able to do nearly as much traveling this year as we normally would. I haven't been
traveling for 1 year right now.
Yeah, so so we're trying to look at ways where we can keep you in touch with what's going on here at STEP. And so what we want to do this morning is just have a conversation here around the table with Wawa and Descollines about what's going on in Haiti, what's going on here at STEP, and then give you some things that you can be praying about as you continue to partner with us and continue to pray for the seminary. So we're so grateful for you. We're sad that we can't come see you, but we're hoping that this is a close second to that. So I want to start. We've got a few questions here that we want to work through, and then what we're going to do is in the description of this video down below. You'll see some links where you can click on these questions, and if you want to go back and hear a question later, you can find those timestamps in the description of this video. But well, I want to start, anybody who's been following STEP over the past few years knows that this has been a difficult season in Haiti. And Haiti is no stranger to difficulty. People know that. But how would you say this season right now compares with some of the other difficult seasons Haiti has been through over the past several years?
Well, good morning, Luke. Good morning, Pastor Descollines.
Good morning, Pastor
Wawa. Haiti has been facing great difficulties since the 1980s. Actually, before then, but something weird started after the dictatorship ended in Haiti in 1986.
Right.
1987, even I lost my brother, who got shot and killed and was burned in the process of the first election we were having in Haiti. So we are not foreign to demonstrations, to roadblocks, to tires burning, a lot of things happening in Haiti through the years. In 2010, we had something different that was not created by people, but it was natural disaster. That was the the earthquake that happened in 2010 that disrupted a lot of things for us, but at some point we ended up with demonstrations again, even in 2010. With cholera also that we had by the end of 2010.
Yeah, it was right after the earthquake.
So those two things disrupted a lot of our reality in Haiti. Political unrest never stops.
Yeah.
So we keep having them all the time. But this year, the past academic year, I should say, 2019, 2020, oh man, we never saw anything like this. We started the school year first week of September. The second week, we started having unrest.
Yeah.
And we ended up with what is called the pays lock, the lockdown.
It means countries locked down, right? Yeah.
Everything stopped for weeks to the point where at STEP Seminary, we were able to gather again with students on December 2nd.
Yeah, so from September all the way till December.
We lost the whole September, October, and November. It was December 2nd that we were able to resume classes, but at that time we could not even have them here. All of them were not here. We were able to do the morning classes here, but the afternoon classes we had to have them at Joël Lalois'
That's
church.
right, I'd forgotten about that.
So this is
Go
what
back to 2019. It seems like an eternity ago.
This is what we were doing, trying to finish the first semester. We finished the first semester in February.
Of 2020.
February 2020 because of the lockdown.
So normally that would finish like
In
December
December.
20th, and then we would go to Christmas break.
Exactly.
And then,
So that required a lot of adaptation on our part to try to make things work, to juggle with the reality we had to work with. And then March 2nd, we started again here to begin the second semester.
Right.
We were trying it here on the STEP campus.
Morning and afternoon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, morning and afternoon, we were trying to have that here because we felt, okay, there is a little bit of peace, we are going to do it. After 3 days,
That's all it was.
something happened. We experienced threats from one of the gangs, as we are located in the middle of gangs all over the place, around us, behind us, in front of us, on both sides of the campus. One of the gangs down the hill threatened us. So we had to make a decision at the time because we were not allowed to even use the one gate we could use to come here, because we had not been able to use that other gate, you remember, for months.
Yep.
We had not been able to use it because the gangs were fighting and we were prevented from using it. So that one gate we had to come in here and leave, we were threatened to not use it. So by the grace of God, we were welcomed by a church on the other side of town, had to bring the students who live on campus in the dorm students to the other side to make sure that they were accommodated so we could start classes. But boy, God has been good.
Yeah.
The adaptation that STEP's team has been used to was on display again. It started on Thursday. We could not have class on Friday by the time for us to get ready for it. But Monday morning we had class, and Monday afternoon we had class. And it was like that, trying until March 19th.
So this, in the span of one weekend, we were able to take all the operations of STEP off of this campus to another place on the other side of the city.
Exactly.
Under the threat of
threats.
violence.
We could not come with cars, so it was walking through the neighborhood to come to campus to get stuff that we had to have with us, and the students walked out with just a little bit, so people would not even know that they were leaving the campus for real. Right. So and we met them halfway to take them to the other side of town to do it.
Over on a Saturday morning and picked them up on the street.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, March 19th, the Haitian president announced that we had the first 2 cases of coronavirus here. We had to cancel classes for the rest of the time. Yeah. So in order for us to be able to finish the school year, we had to readapt again to, from a distance, help the students. And our academic dean had been key, and you too, to help the students to learn about that new platform that we were using along with WhatsApp to try to teach the classes from a distance with the students wherever they were, because we don't have internet everywhere in Haiti.
And I would say, like, our students, up until that point, they had never experienced a distance class before.
Not at all. It was brand new. So as we faced that new reality, we were putting our feet on ground that were not even known to us before.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but the Lord allowed us to go through the process, and we ended up finishing the academic year during the summer.
Yeah, in June 15th.
Yep.
And the graduation ceremony that was supposed to happen in May ended up happening on September 3rd. But it's an academic year that's behind us. So God has been good in the process to help us to make it, to get to this point, and we are grateful to God for that, and we are grateful to our academic dean, to the whole team of STEP, the administrator, the student affairs person who gathered all the time with you, leading those podcasts that we had to try to communicate to churches, to the students, to people in our constituency. So that they know what STEP is doing and how we are addressing the reality, how to protect themselves as we try to protect ourselves. It's so many things coming together, but it was a lot of learning for us. And we were able to see also that God has never abandoned us. He had never abandoned us in the process. So we appreciate how God did that.
Yeah. And so if I'm hearing you right, you're saying, man, you started your response to this question in 1986, watching your brother. Was that 1986, 1987? And you're saying the past 2 years really don't compare with any of that other history in Haiti. This is a whole unique thing. Part of it's because I would imagine part of it's because the unrest has just persisted for so long and has universally shut down the country.
The whole country.
Yeah. So, in a lot of cases for us, we were able to keep going. But you have a lot of students who lost the whole academic year
Exactly.
in other parts of the country.
There were so many schools who, even on our campus, Maranatha, that high school, on the other side of campus, they couldn't do anything themselves. STEP is fortunate to be able to adapt and do what we're able to do, but many schools around the country, they lost it completely. Unfortunately.
One of the things you said a lot over the past year, and you were just touching on this a minute ago, is that our team here that we have on the Conseil de Direction and then the greater team too has played a critical role in keeping STEP going. What do you think it is? What is it about this team that we have here that has helped things continue so smoothly? Is there anything you can point to?
The first thing I would say, Luke, is the grace of God.
Yeah.
That allowed us to be blessed with people who have the capacity to adapt. Yeah. And I think it's the atmosphere that the Lord has allowed us to create also. We work together.
Sure. Yeah.
This is our culture. Here at STEP Seminary, the whole leadership team works together. And then the faculty works together with the academic dean. It's like everybody who's got a group of people under him or under her, they work together. Yeah. We are able to convene and to gather around an idea. If somebody has a good idea, we quickly gather around that, we discuss it, and then we just embark. When we say we embark
all together.
And we make sacrifices. I don't know, because of what we have been through for years before.
It's easier for us to
we learn to push in the middle of great difficulties.
Sure. Yeah.
So our team has been a blessing from the Lord to be able to make the sacrifices that were required for us to continue to do what we were supposed to do, what we were able to do in spite of the roadblocks that we had in front of us and COVID later. The team has been amazing in doing things from a distance, and when it was required for us to be together, because you had the possibility to open Quisqueya Chapel for us, it was like a center where we could come. So everybody would try to be there, and keeping the social distancing, we would discuss things and take it from there to make them happen. And amazingly enough, it did.
Yeah, and I feel like going through all that really helped our team gel together in new ways. I mean, we had, it wasn't, I would never choose to go through that again, but we had a lot of fun.
We did.
We had some good Haitian food that one time. So let me ask you, Descollines. Between the pandemic and the unrest, there was a ton of time where we weren't able to meet here on this campus. We weren't able to hold classes on the campus. And we've talked before, we talked in the last video we sent out about how we adapted, how we went to Edmodo and WhatsApp and those kind of different distance learning things. But one of the things too, because we weren't able to come here, and because things were so disrupted, that allowed us some time to advance on some projects that we've been working on for a long time here and hadn't really been able to make progress. One of those is CETA. So can you just explain what is CETA and what's the significance of that for us?
Okay. CETA stands for Caribbean Evangelical Theological Association. Right. CETA launched in Trinidad in 1973, and it is an agency for accrediting schools, seminary or a school who are doing theological education. And our partnership with CETA started a long time ago. And I think when they launched the accrediting process, when STEP launched the accrediting process with CETA, I was not even a student at STEP yet.
Okay. Oh, it's that long.
It started in the 1990s.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was like...
when John Berger was vice president.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was a long time ago.
He probably still had some hair.
Yeah, he did have some hair at the time.
Sorry, John.
But for some reason, the process stopped, and because of some difficulties, the process stopped. And 2 years ago, after I became the academic dean, we launched again the process to have the school accredited by CETA, and with the assistance of Pastor Wawa, yourself, and other people, Pastor Lucien, we launched that, and we make a lot of progress. And at this time, we are closer to finish the process. CETA has...
And we need to say thank you to Google Drive.
Oh, yeah. Because we use it a lot.
True, yeah.
CETA has 3 stages for accrediting school. We have the applicant stage, the candidate stage, and the accredited stage. And at this period of time, I believe that we are between the last 2 stages, and we are waiting for them to give us an answer so that we can know if we are accredited or if we need to provide more documents for the process. Okay. And the reason that we are doing the accreditation with CETA is because when a student from here is done with his studies, or our alumni can go to do other studies in theological field, like to have a master, that will give them easier access to enter other schools, especially in other countries. So that will be a great opportunity for our STEP and for those alumni to be able to do that.
So we've been blessed over the years with our relationship with Dallas Seminary and Gordon Conwell and other schools, and that they know us, they know the quality of what we're doing here, so they've admitted our graduates over the years without a problem. But having that formal accreditation, that opens the doors wide.
Yeah. Because now, if we have someone who's going to a school, those partners generally provide letters so that the school could admit the person. Right. But if we have our own accreditation, we will not need that anymore. Our graduate or alumni can go directly through the process and be admitted to the school since they verify that everything is fine with our papers and curriculum.
So STEP is recognized officially by the government in Haiti, by the Ministry of Education. But this is an international recognition.
Exactly.
It really will be recognized all over the world. So it's a huge... I remember the report. It was 229 pages that we had to submit to them.
It was a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And you guys
we had to dig and dig for information because there were questions on that document that we had to answer. To address those issues, we had to do a lot of statistics.
And one of the good things, good things is that it was a long process to go through, but really the work was just getting the data. We didn't have to really make major changes to STEP because we were already basically in line.
We learned from the process, but the thing that they asked for, we had them already, but we didn't know that we will need those stuff to provide. But we had them already, so it was not really easy, but it was not that difficult to find them and to provide the data.
The work was mostly organizing the material that we already had there, because everything was already there. Finding them and organizing them was the work we pretty much had to do. And we were able to do that either sitting together at a table or from a distance on the internet using Google Drive and Zoom. So we were able to do so much.
Yeah, shout out to Google Drive because they because we're an educational institution, we get access to the Google Suites for free, and that's been a huge help for us.
Exactly. And maybe we should mention that this building we have on this campus has been a blessing also, in that process, because this is one of the requirements.
For
accreditation.
Right. Being able to demonstrate that we have adequate more than adequate facilities here really gives us a leg up. So we're praying for the Lord on this and trusting Him. And if they grant us accreditation, which I think they will. I mean, I don't want to,
Looks like they will.
but we would be the second school on this island. So Dominican Republic and Haiti to receive accreditation. So it would be a unique thing. So that's really, really exciting. One of the other things that we've learned over this past year is that we need to learn how to flex. We need to learn how to be flexible. And we've been thinking a lot about how to be more strategic in making sure that our mission goes forward no matter what happens in Haiti around us. And so we got a lot of new things we're talking about right now. What are some of those?
As Pastor told earlier, the last 2 years was kind of testing for us, but we learned from that, and because of that new knowledge that we get from this experience, now we provide several options to our students. The first option that we provide to our students is to make our program, bachelor program, hybrid. So we have faculty members in class, but they use some other tools so that even though we can be in another lockdown or quarantine, STEP doesn't stop. We'll keep working, and our students are really happy that they can have this opportunity to work even though we cannot meet here. So this is the first option that we provide because we learn from the past and we do that. The second thing that we are going to do is to offer an online program. This program will allow people who cannot come on campus or who are working and they are busy, but they are longing to learn theology, or they have calling from God, but they cannot come to be in a formal classroom. So we are offering an online program to them so they could learn and they could be trained to be to respond properly to the calling. And the third thing that we are thinking is to have some extensions. Actually, we have already one. We have already one. We start with the first year of bachelor program, but we are thinking to have more through the country so that we can offer our program to a large group of people who are longing to be trained in the theological field, and we hope that that will work. I don't know if I miss other things.
Regarding the extension that we have already established on the other side of town, that offers access to some people who would never come to campus for different reasons. We have close to 30 students right now on that campus, and also the extension site has the women's course as well, which was decreasing a lot here on this campus because many pastors would not like the idea for their wives to be coming to school on this campus, given the atmosphere around our campus with the gangs fighting all the time like that. Being on the other side now, that women's course is so populated.
Now we have a first year class started last September, and we are going to have another one start in January.
Because some people are still asking, but we have a class that is already together.
So one of the things that's affecting us, as you mentioned, we're in the middle. Our campus is in the middle of this really difficult area, and when we say difficult, there are probably not many places in Haiti that are worse than this area. And so when something happens here, it makes the national news. Everybody knows about it, and so that has affected us. And so, we have students who want to come study. They're like, I don't think
should I go to that area?
Actually, we have a student in the extension who lives close to this neighborhood, but who never came here.
But he'd rather go all the way to the other side of town because, and so we, we're grateful right now. We're in a time of relative calm over here. But one of the things we've learned over the past couple of years, that can change.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Any
that,
minute.
you know, and so, yeah. Okay, I want to shift subjects a little bit. A lot of people who may be watching this are people who have come down here over the years on teams, building houses, doing medical clinics, doing dental clinics, something like that, VBS. What does the future look like for teams coming down here to help? And then also part of that question would be, what has happened to our work in the community? Has that stopped because we can't have teams, or where are we at there?
2 questions.
Yeah.
It's easy. The first one is, we mentioned before that STEP has this ability to adapt very quickly, to be flexible and work with difficult situations. We have not been able to have teams for about 2 years. Right. Many teams that were in line to come had to cancel because of the political unrest in Haiti. But the team that is on the ground here, because STEP has a group of workers here that know how to do the work themselves, who definitely would work together with teams when teams come. And then we have students at the seminary also whom we make sure to involve in community work so that they can learn better how to address issues in their communities after they graduate and return to their places. So this group on this side here, whenever it's okay for us to go outside and build a house,
we go out.
We do it.
Yep.
With Josue, who is the leader for the community service department. Mm-hmm. He leads the group to do many houses in the community for families to be relieved from their reality. And we had a small project recently. Instead of building one house, Josue and his team discovered that there were many houses that did not really need walls, but the roofs were bad. Yeah. So if they changed that for them, that would be a great blessing. So we worked on a project together with Josue, and they started with 10 on the list, but while they were implementing that, they ended up doing 12 roofs in the community on both sides of the campus, which was a great blessing and bringing a lot of joy also for all of us when we saw the results, the pictures, the videos of the work happening there. We don't stop. For teams now to come, which is the other part of the question.
Different
before you get to that, and I will add, because of this ministry that we are doing and the impact that we have in the neighborhood, even though that is not really safe, but
we are not targeted.
Exactly.
Right.
That's right.
Right. And so and one of the things, we had several months of lockdown. As soon as we got to the campus, within like a week, I think, we started building a house.
Exactly.
So, the community knows if we can be here and if we can function, we're here for them.
We're going to be a blessing for them in those ways. Yeah. For teams, we would be happy to receive teams, but we want to be on the safe side. Right. In order for us to be on the safe side, we have to be watching the atmosphere. We definitely need to keep in touch with the teams that would love to come, to communicate with them, and we watch the atmosphere. As soon as it would be okay for teams to come down, we will let them know. But for now, to be honest, we can't say to a team, you can come now. Right. So we are now in November. As we speak here, we cannot say that we are going to be able to receive teams in November. But if things change, since we're here and we have eyes to see, we will definitely evaluate and let the teams know. So if you have in your mind, somebody is watching this, and you have in your mind the idea to come down and work with STEP in those amazing things that the Lord is doing with us, you can continue to pray about it and consider that. And as soon as it's possible, we will let you know.
Yeah. So we're not done with teams, but we're saying, hey, right now it's not really safe for teams. And honestly, maybe too, in some cases, bringing teams might put the ministry of STEP a little bit more at risk right now too. And but we've had some groups in the States who've been really generous to send money down, and it's from those funds that we've been able to
do the
continue to work in
buildings.
the community. So that's been a huge help. So
exactly.
We've even, I know, talking with David Hyatt at Hershey Free, he's had the idea of doing even virtual teams where you have a group of people in Hershey or in the States who are saying, hey, we're committed to track this project and pray, and we'll send the money down, and Tonton and the crew can go build the house. We're open to stuff like that. Honestly, it's a lot more fun when people come.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Dave, if we could pull that up.
Yeah. I mean, we enjoy having teams, honestly. I mean, it's I don't know, it's just kind of it brings a new element to the campus life. It's an encouragement to the people.
The new dynamic on campus.
So
even for us to have people around us holding hands with us to do the work, it's encouraging to us.
It's a boost. It's a shot in the arm, So, we're really grateful too. I know we have a lot of people who have stayed in touch with us during this time. Mel out there in Texas, and Dave Smith just in Hershey
Bob
just texted
Ebersole.
me last night. Bob Ebersole.
Jeffrey Wooder in Oklahoma.
Yeah, a lot
every
of
week.
folks, all
every
over.
week, Jeffrey would write a note to try to learn about how
See
things
how
are.
we're doing. How can you pray? And so
J. Amory,
we
also in Oklahoma.
And that is a good bridge to the last thing I want to ask here. And the question is, I can ask either of you, how can people be specifically praying for the seminary right now? We have a lot of people who have partnered with STEP in a lot of different ways over the years. Right now, because of events in the world and events in Haiti, we can't have people visit as easily. But we still need the partnership. In terms of prayer, in terms of financial support too, especially this year. We're not even getting into the exchange rate. Maybe we can do that in another video. But
this is a nightmare.
Challenges abound here, and so we need the partnership. And we need especially the prayer partnership right now because, I found myself a lot recently in Ephesians chapter 6, where we read that the battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and the powers and and so how can people be praying for us right now?
I would say the first thing that comes in my mind is for safety.
Okay.
Because if people don't really feel safe, they will not come on campus. Right. Actually, because the time is changed last weekend, and now when it's 6, it's really dark
earlier.
So we cannot release the student at 7 at night anymore. So we have to make adjustments to lose an hour and to release the school at 6. So the first thing that we think that we need is safety, and if people can pray for us for that would be a huge blessing. And
even we could even say, you at home, if you even wanted to set a timer on your phone for 6 p.m., that's the time of day when school is when classes are released here, people are getting their cars and they're leaving the neighborhood.
The campus.
If you wanted to set a timer on your phone and pray for STEP at that time, that'd be a great blessing.
6 Eastern.
Yeah. 6 Eastern time. That's right. 6 Eastern time.
I'd say, first of all, pray for peace in the country, as it is the broader context in which we are working. And for God to allow that things will calm down, and for the government of Haiti to take responsibility to address issues, the police co-op in Haiti to address the issues the right way, for the justice system in Haiti to actually work. These are the things that I would appreciate prayers for, and also for the area where STEP Seminary is located, for the gang leaders to settle down, and for something to happen, for change. In the area. We have been working hard. We pray here, we work here, we go outside to minister to people in the communities, to see if things can change, because in our mission we have that part that says that we are doing what we are doing in the end for communities to be transformed to the glory of God. So our mission says that we are preparing Haitian leaders to make disciples of Christ, to transform communities to the glory of God, their communities to the glory of God.
We're in the middle of a community that needs that.
That needs that very much. So pray that God will make it work.
Yeah.
And pray for our own spirit, so that we can remain positive and determined. Because when you're doing this kind of work, the sacrifices we are making, and we see that Haiti is falling apart even more, it's like things are getting worse. At times you wonder, say, is it really working? And this is when God would speak to your spirit to let you know, yes, it is. Because you have to look closer and you see God's hand at work. So pray for us so that we can remain focused on the work that God has given us to do and not be discouraged. Pray also for the student body and the faculty. Yeah. The faculty is strong and they're working hard, but pray that they will continue to push, and for the students to be able to learn in this environment, in this reality, to be able to actually make the experience and get out strong. It's a blessing, though, for our students to be learning in that environment, because it's part of the training also.
There's some things that have been added to the curriculum in the past couple of years.
And then we have to pay for that. So if you pray for the students, we'll appreciate it. We know that you do. Continue to do that. Yeah. Pray for them, and pray for the Haitian economy. Yeah. Our students have even greater difficulties right now to come up with tuition money. Yeah. The lockdown caused a lot of our students to lose jobs. Those who had, Haiti has unemployment that is so high already, and some of our students who were fortunate enough to have something to do, that like teaching in high schools or grade schools or anything they were doing, many of them, they lost what they were doing before. And then COVID worsens it. So now they have the motivation to come to study. They know their calling, they want the training, but they don't have the resources. Yeah. So as we thank our partners who have come alongside us to help us meet the students halfway somehow, we want you to continue to pray for God to continue to provide so that we can help the students make it. Yeah. If you help STEP Seminary help the students, we will appreciate it. Pray for yourself to see how God would like speak to you to tell you what to do and how to share your resources with STEP Seminary in the process.
A last thing that I will add is to pray for this COVID-19 as well.
True.
So that we can find a quick solution to that, because that affects not only the world but Haiti. Especially.
That's true. I mean, I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, a journalist friend, who's followed Haiti for a long time, and he was saying that during paid luck, he said, the effect of that on the Haitian economy would probably take 10 years to recover from. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then we threw COVID-19 on top of that.
And then we have our president making poor decisions on top of that again.
Not this president.
No, I'm talking about President Moise.
Right. Haitian president,
So pray for Haiti in general, the situation here in the neighborhood, safety, COVID-19, the
economy.
But at the same time,
we do pray for our partners.
I would say too, add to that, thank the Lord, just as we do, for his faithfulness. As you said in the beginning of this, we would never choose to go through all this that we've gone through the past couple of years, but we have seen new facets of the Lord's faithfulness over and over again to this institution, to this ministry. It's been really wonderful to see, and so we praise him for that.
It is. We see blessings in the middle of paylock and COVID. Yeah. It's like there are things that we had been able to do. We would never sit down to address them, like the CETA documents that we had to work with, the new platforms that we have learned and are using, the new approaches that we are having right now at STEP Seminary to grow the student body. All of them are blessings that come with it.
Yeah.
So
we
just
stayed busy.
God for that.
I don't know about you, but I remember when Corona hit, I thought, okay, I have a whole list of stuff at my house that I can get done now. The list is still there because we never stopped working.
We never stopped. So this is a blessing.
It is a blessing. Well, I want to thank you for watching this morning and for tracking with us. Thank you, of course, for your prayers for STEP, your prayers for these guys, Wawa and Descollines, who carry most of the leadership burden of this school and do it so faithfully. And we know you love them, and we know you pray for them. So we want to thank you for that.
We love you too.
Yeah, we do. All right.
Definitely.
We'll see you. We'll see. Maybe we'll do some more of these. I don't know, but we'll see you again in another video.
This is a try. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again.
Okay.